Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. I'm really excited to share with you another product that I found in Primark. This time it is a foundation. I've got my brows done, I've got my eyes done, I've got a little bit of concealer on, I've got some of the Makeup Revolution baking oil, which I'm absolutely loving. My skin feels so soft, so plump, so hydrated, and it feels absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot stop wearing it. It's fantastic. It also works with all of the foundations that I've tried it with so far, that being the Makeup Revolution stick concealer. That's the new one. I've also tried it with my L'Oreal foundation as well, and it works perfectly. So I'm really excited to try it with another new foundation that I picked up at the weekend. Now, I've heard really good things about this, and even in store they seem to revere this foundation. They said, or they know, that it's been really popular. So I'm really intrigued by this. It is the My Perfect Colour Long Wear Ultimate Matte Foundation. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if it is matte. It also said that it's double coverage, matte finish, oil free, with an SPF of 15. This was only £5. I picked this up from the Cambridge Primark store. I love Cambridge Primark just because they seem to have a lot more products in there, or they seem to get it first, I would say, compared to the Norwich store. I absolutely love the Norwich store, and what I will say, the comparison between Norwich and Cambridge is that Cambridge hasn't got anybody looking around the beauty area, so a lot of the makeup was still being tampered with. But in the Norwich Primark store, they seem to have it all under control, and someone patrols the beauty area to make sure that no one tampers with the products, which is so good for the customers that then, you know, go on to purchase products. So that's really good. Cambridge did have a lot more of the shades. Norwich did have just one shade, and it was a really dark shade. So I headed off to Cambridge, picked up my shade, and what is mine? I picked up Cool Nude. They had about 4 or 5 shades. The one that I would really love, I can't remember the name of it. I did pick up the tester and walked away, and by the time that I went back, the tester had totally disappeared. But they had a lot of porcelain, and they had quite a number of this shade, so I thought I'd pick it up. Now, the reason there's the excitement surrounding this foundation is that it has been compared to the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Now, if you're like me and you don't particularly like paying £28–30 or whatever the price tag of that foundation is, and I have tried it before and did pay that price tag, but I resent having to then fall in love with a product with a price tag that high and then have to keep repurchasing. So when I hear that there is a dupe available, you know, I went to Primark and I picked it up just to test it out. I mean, £5, amazing. And you're getting, what is it, 50, is it 32ml? Yeah, 32ml, which is 1 US fluid ounce. So yeah, I really also like the packaging. It has got a glass container with a screw top lid. It's also, there's no pump, so it is just like the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, in that you have to tip it out onto your whatever you're going to, or however you're going to apply it. But I'm really excited to see how this applies and what it looks like. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use my sponge that I picked up from Primark again. This is the one that I tested a couple of days ago. Really like the finish with this. I've also got a brush just in case, so it just depends on how I like, you know, the look of how it's applying. So I'm just going to get my lace headband. Oops. I've got some clips in the other side, so I don't want to pull those out. Great. Now, like I say, I've already done my eyes. The eye look for today, I used the PS Nudes Matte Eyeshadow Palette, and this is £4, I believe. No tag anymore, but it was £4. and I absolutely love this palette. It blends like an absolute dream, and I think if you're going to get anything from the Nudes collection, you might want to pick up this. It is stunning. So anyway, I've also got this because I want to test out how the powder products go over the top of it. So yeah, really excited about this, and yeah, really excited about this. Now what I'm going to do, like I say, is I'm going to pop it on the back of my hand and then use the sponge. So it was actually quite difficult when you're in a shop, I think, you know, and you've got the lights and things like that above you, it's quite difficult to test out the foundation. I just hope this works, and this is going to work for me. So I'm just going to pat the sponge into the product, get a little bit on there, and then start working it into the skin. Now, a couple of people have, when I tested this sponge out, have mentioned that they thought that this sponge was particularly hard. I've not tried any other sponges, so I'm not really, you know, because I haven't tried other sponges, I just don't know. I mean, it is quite a firm sponge, but what I'm saying is I can't compare it to anything else. I'm just having to tip more of the product out. I think the colour isn't too bad. It seems when I tip it out, it's a nice formulation. It's not thin and really watery, and it also seems like it's, I don't know, it seems quite, not moussey. It seems like there may be, it feels like a serum, I suppose, like there's a kind of a serum in there, because it's not runny as in, you know, you tip it out and it just runs everywhere. It feels thicker than that. I really enjoyed the foundation, how it applied with the with this sponge, but we'll see. Now, although it does say that it's full coverage, it's not particularly full coverage. My L'Oreal foundation is definitely more full coverage than this, although it does feel, like I say, not very liquidy. It feels like a little bit more than that. Like I say, it feels like there's some kind of serum in there. I might just swap and then just pop the rest on with the brush and see how I get on with that. I'm just going to smell it as well. It doesn't smell of anything in particular. I think the sponge does pop the product on in a very thin layer. But I think the colour, looking in my viewfinder, looks very, very good. And I also just tip out a little bit at a time, because what I don't want to do is waste product. Sometimes you can tip so much out that you're never going to use it all. Now, of course, I've got to be very careful around the brow area. Now, I'm very, very surprised actually, because usually I steer clear of Primark foundations. I know that they've got a lot of, you know, new products, and they do look really, really good. In fact, actually, I wanted to ask you, because when I went to Primark Cambridge, they did actually have a number of products that I'd never seen before, and I have picked up a number of beauty products, but I have been doing a lot of Primark reviews, so I don't know if you're bored, but if you would like to see the products like in a haul and then I test them out, I'd be happy to do that. Obviously I've had to build this up a little bit, because I do like full coverage, even though my skin is not too bad. I've not got any blemishes or anything like that, but I do like it to be full coverage. And I'm really pleased with that actually. It could have been a little bit darker, just a little bit deeper. It seems to be a little bit more dewy and tacky. And obviously I wear a matte foundation. My favourite foundation is a matte, which is the L'Oreal. But this seems to be a little bit dewy. What I would say is that it also feels tacky, so I don't know if it's going to dry down. On first thoughts, you know, after application, if you've got the Makeup Revolution New Stick Foundation, this is not as dewy as that, but it's not as matte as my L'Oreal. So at the moment I'm thinking that it's in the middle. It feels very nice on. It's given me a good coverage. Obviously I've layered it a little bit in the areas that I like covered, so really like that. I think it works very, very, very well with the sponge, but I found that my brush gave me a little bit more coverage with this foundation. I think because it's quite a thick foundation, you know, it's not very, very thick, but it's not also very thin. Really, really love it so far. And although it's still, you can see it's dewy, it has dried down a little bit, but I wouldn't say, I mean, it said matte on the packaging twice, because it's, yeah, Long Wear Ultimate Matte Foundation, double coverage matte finish. But it's definitely not what I would say matte, but I wouldn't say it's very dewy. It is dewy, but it's not very, very dewy either, like the Makeup Revolution. Right, so now what I want to do is I want to add some product over the top of this and see how that looks. So of course I'm going to be using my Nudes palette. I'm still loving all of the makeup from Primark, really enjoying it. I think they've really come a long way in a very short space of time actually. In fact, over the last, I would say, 3 or 4 months, they've really come out with some fantastic products. So of course I'm using my NYX fan brush, which I absolutely love, and I'm just going into Reveal, which is that one there, and I'm just going to contour my face and probably bronze it up as well with that colour. Now usually I don't know what it is, but as soon as I start doing this on camera it all goes very wrong very quickly, so I'm hopeful that it's going to work very well. I mean, you wouldn't think that I do this every day, but for some reason it just goes very wrong when I put this kind of product on my face. So fingers crossed that this works out. But yeah, I'm really loving the Primark products, really loving the collection, especially the Nudes collection. I'm just really, really loving it. Yeah, it's always this side for some reason that goes wrong. I'm just going to get my foundation brush. Yeah, for some reason on my face I'm more defined on this side, so I know where I'm going. Yeah, on this side I'm not quite as defined, and that's why I always have a little bit of a job getting this side right. My usual place I can do it no problem, but like I say, as soon as I get on camera it all goes, or takes me a little bit longer than usual, but that actually is not too bad. I'm now going to get my blush brush, which if you watch my channel regularly you'll know it's this one, and it's the Wilko blush brush. So I'm just going to, and this one is Exposed, this shade. I just love this palette so much. I love the concept, but I suppose if you bring out a Nudes collection you would think perhaps that everything is very nude and you know you pop it on and you can't see it. Not with this collection. It is so good. Like I say, I've used the nude eyeshadow palette for my eyes today, and yeah, really loving it. And it's not what I would say, you know, nude as in you pop it on and you can't see it. Love that blush as well. Love that. I love how also it's applying over the top. Really good. I haven't set it with any powder on purpose, because if I set it then I can't see how it's going to perform. But I really like that. I'm just going to get my foundation brush again and just blend it out here. Love that. Of course, now I'm going to use my favourite blush for highlight. It's the Flex brush. It's a highlight and contour brush, and I'm now going into the colour Pure, which is a beautiful pink highlight. I just love this brush so much for putting on highlight. It's just beautiful. Love it. Now this is my problem area. Sometimes when I do this, the foundation will come off. It hasn't come off. Really love that. That's gorgeous. It feels, in some areas, it feels a little bit more matte than others, but it's still a little bit of it has that dewy finish, a little bit, not too much. And I think if you were to set it, it would be really good. Now, of course, I want to pop a lipstick on. The lipstick that I'm going to use today is from the Nudes collection. It's a matte lipstick and it's in the shade Naked Flame. Now the packaging for this, you would think it is very pink, and although it looks pink, but when it goes on, it's a very nice shade. So I'm just going to line my lips with my very small NYX liner in the shade Natural. I mean, you don't really have to line your lips with this colour, but I thought I would. I absolutely love these lipsticks. I mean, they look very powdery once they've been applied. But I just love them so much. I just think they're absolutely stunning. Possibly not the best colour to have chosen for, you know, the top that I'm wearing. But I just love this makeup so much. So I'll just take off the cat ears and sort my hair out. Actually, that's not too bad today. Sometimes I'll take off the cat ears and it's really messed my hair up, but but actually it's not too bad today. Can't control my hair, unfortunately, and I've stopped trying. So this obviously was a try-on of the new Primark. Well, I don't know if it is new actually, but it's new to me anyway. The My Perfect Colour Long Wear Ultimate Matte Foundation. I really love the colour of it. I think even though it's slightly light for me, could have gone a little bit deeper, but I really like the finish. It's worked nicely on my skin. This is a problem area here where I have a few pores, but yeah, that's, I think, because I've used the sponge actually. It's worked very nicely to you know, blend the foundation in very well with my skin. I just love it. It's not as matte as my L'Oreal, but it has given me a little bit of dewiness, and to be honest, I really like that at the moment. I have, like I said, applied an oil just to give me that added moisture which I need at the moment, and I'm really enjoying the more dewy foundation, but I cannot wear a foundation that is too dewy because I do have oily skin. Now, bearing in mind I haven't set this foundation at all, and I still think that it looks very, very nice. I mean, I will have to probably set it later on, but I really want to see how it performs, and if you're interested in a review, do let me know down below because I can do that for you as well. So all in all, very, very impressed. I think what everybody is saying about this foundation at the moment is true. Apart from the fact, now when they said that this was a dupe for the Double Wear foundation, I must admit that sometimes I did like the Double Wear because it does give you that full coverage, but I did find that it was very cakey on my skin. And I suppose as you get older, you do want the coverage, obviously, but you don't want it to look cakey, because if you do have any fine lines, and everybody's got fine lines, let's face it, you don't want that foundation enhancing those fine lines. So what I want is a foundation that gives me full coverage, doesn't enhance the fine lines that, you know, we all have, also gives me a little bit of dewiness. And for £28, £30, whatever that, you know, foundation, Estee Lauder I mean, is, I just found it too pricey, too cakey, and didn't really enjoy it. But I must say that this is £5. It's covered everything. It's given me that, I would say, demi-matte. It's not, you know, a totally matte foundation, but it has given me a little bit of matte, but it's also given me, you know, a sheen, a glow. So I suppose if I was to mix the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick foundation together with my L'Oreal, this is probably what it would look like. So it's got a little bit of matteness, but it's also got a little bit of dewiness as well. So all in all, at the moment, I'm very, very impressed. And if it carries on and looks like this for the rest of the day, this might be my new holy grail, because it's given me the full coverage. It's given me, in some areas, you know, it's like I say, it's a demi-matte, so it's given me a little bit of a matte finish, but also it's given me a little bit of dewiness. And I think for £5, that's really impressive. It's impressed me. I do wish that they had a pump with it. I didn't like the fact that you had to tip it out with the Estee Lauder. I'm not really that keen on it, but it's worked. You know, I've popped it on the back of my hand, and I wouldn't suggest tipping it out onto your fingers, because although it feels like there is a serum to it, so it's not really runny like some foundations, but it's also not really thick. So it will run a little bit. So I suggest if you're going to tip it anywhere, tip it on the back of your hand, and a little bit, you know, a little bit at a time perhaps, because, you know, with the L'Oreal one, I do squeeze it out and it's not runny in any way, so it will stay there. But this is a little bit different, but I'm really impressed. And like I say, if this carries on looking as good as this throughout the day, I'm going to have to race back to Cambridge and get some more, because I'm impressed. So well done, Primark, again. Absolutely loving that. Like I said, do let me know if you'd like a review on that. Do let me know also if you'd like a haul of the items that I picked up from Primark at the weekend. I must say that they had a sale. I shared with you a few items on my Instagram just to share with you, you know, a couple of pairs of earrings. And they did have, if you like this jumper, originally this was £13 and that's what I paid for it. It's that beautiful jumper with the balloon sleeves. They also have it in royal blue. If you like this, you need to get to Primark because these are now £5. I've also got another jumper. So like I said, if you do want that beauty haul with a little added bonus, I'll do that for you. But I would like it if you let me know because I have done a number of Primark videos recently. So yeah, I would love it if you got back to me and let me know what you think of this foundation. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to hear what you've got to say about it. Obviously, there's a number. I've been doing a lot of makeup reviews, notably, you know, the Makeup Revolution. I don't usually change my foundation that often, but there's so many good items out there. So please let me know what you think of this. If you've used it, what you think of it. And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. But until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.